So what are we up to, everybody? It's been a while since I've done another video, but I want to see about doing something that's a bit personal. I'm not sure if this will apply to every single one of you watching this video, but for certain people that can understand where I'm coming from, you'll see what I'm saying. Anyways, just a little update. I finally moved out of my dad's house. Got a new place. Well, not exactly a new place. I'm renting out a room with a 72-year-old retired man who used to be an interior designer. Immaculate taste inside his house. Check that out. He's probably asleep right now or in his room. But anyways, this is a topic that might be a little off-putting for some people or a bit dark for some people. But I want to discuss about understanding and embracing your inner animal or dark side, depending on how you want to put it. Now, for me, for the most part, I'm a very cool and calm person. I get along with everyone. I treat everyone with respect and dignity, the way in which I want to be treated, to the best of my ability. However, what I've come to realize recently about myself is that I also have another side to me that's a bit more dark, a bit more savage and fierce, that might be a bit off-putting for some people. And there are instances in which that comes out. So, what do I mean by this? Well, let me put it this way. We have opposite personalities within who we are, a yin and a yang. And I've heard of several people talk about this on YouTube called embracing your dark side. And I'll admit I do understand that I have a dark side to myself. Now, what this dark side is, I think, is a way of embracing your inner animal. Some of us might be considered bears. Some of us might be considered foxes. Some of us might be considered even lowly animals like leeches or worms. But for myself, what I have embraced as being one of my inner animals are dominant, solitary apex predators like the tiger, the jaguar, the leopard, the black panther, and the honey badger. What do all these animals have in common? These are all animals who are some of the most fierce and fearless, ruthless, and dominating animals in the animal kingdom. Nobody messes with them unless they want to get eaten alive. And they don't even mess around with each other. Male tigers and jaguars and leopards and panthers and honey badgers, they don't even mess around with each other unless they want to fight over territory or females. So, I understand this about myself, is that within my nature, inside of myself, I have an inner animal of being a tiger, a jaguar, a leopard, a black panther, and a honey badger, sometimes all mixed into one. There are instances in which that comes out, such as when I go to the gym and I work out. I'm intense when I work out at the gym. I can be like, and that comes out a little bit. And even when I go ahead and I'm at work and things get really busy and stressed out, that inner animal just comes out like a beast, just So, embracing that part of yourself has its advantages. It helps you to get things done. It helps to let people know that you're not to be messed with. I haven't gotten into that many fights in my life. There was this one incident in which when I was in the 8th grade, I was in front of my middle school, and I fought the 7th grader who was actually bigger and taller than me. And we were going ahead and going at it with each other. I don't know exactly what started the fight, but we were throwing punches at each other, just... And then he tried to go ahead and lift me up and throw me into the ground and body slam me. But what I did was I went ahead, I don't know if it was my fist or my elbow, but I hit him as hard as I could, bam, in the back of his neck, and he let me go. And from that day forward, he never messed with me. And I remember when I was a freshman in high school, I wore this one like really stupid, like button-down shirt that looked like a Hawaiian t-shirt because I didn't have anything else to wear. And then these kids that were one of them were cool, popular kids at school were making fun of me, say, hey faggot, look at your stupid shirt. And what I did was, when they started giving me a hard time, I turned around and said, shut the fuck up, you fucking faggots. I don't want to hear what the fuck you have to say about me. Take all that shit, shove it right back up your fucking ass and leave me alone. And they looked at me like, and they just kept walking. So, I understand about myself that I can be a bit of a savage. But at the same time, that's a bit off-putting for some people. Like, say, for example, the gym. There was this couple instances revolving the same group of guys and their girlfriends. There was this one girl, I remember the first day I went back to the gym recently. And she was doing squats with dumbbell weights. And right behind her, I was setting up and I say, hey, can you do 50 push-ups like this? I was going, and she got scared, like, and then she went to her boyfriend or something and said, dude, you shouldn't go ahead and go ahead and just come out of a girl and tell her stuff like that. I'm thinking, bro, I wasn't trying to hit on her. I was just challenging her a bit. And then the same group of chicks, the same group of two girls, well, one of them and her girlfriend, who also is, the same group of boyfriend, girlfriends, they hang out together. I went over and I was just talking to myself. And I said, all right, let's get this shit going, blah, blah, blah. And I was going on a machine that you do squats on with dumbbells. And then these girls and they just took off. And then one of the guys came over to me and said, hey man, we went through this before. You said that you weren't going to talk to our girlfriends. We already discussed that. I said, bro, I was not even interested in talking with them, okay? I don't know what made you think that I was going ahead and wanting to hit on your girlfriend, but I was never interested in her. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. Well, we were discussing all this, and I said, look, how about this? You mind your own business, and I'll mind my own business, and we'll leave it at that. And he said, oh, all right, that's good. So that's the thing. I can be at times. But other than that, like how I am right now, after the gym and after work, I'm cool. I enjoy myself something like this. And this is not a blunt, but this is This is Dutch Master's cigar. I'm cool and calm and collective. But during the day, when I'm trying to get things done, my inner beast comes out. So the thing I come to realize is that you have to understand when it is appropriate and when it's not appropriate to let your inner beast come out. I can be pretty savage if I want to, but I don't choose to, because it's not necessary in most instances. Understanding how it was when I grew up in an environment in which my parents would go at it with each other. They were both mentally and emotionally unstable. I can recall them arguing all the time, sometimes fighting with each other. And I think I get the same sort of intensity from both my parents in that regard. And also, given the stuff I've been through in life, I had to toughen up. I had to be a bit of a savage in a way in order to go through some certain things in life. But again, I have to understand, even though the world is like a jungle and there are predators and there's prey, and at times you have to be ruthless and savage in order to get what you want, understand that we have civility in this world and that we all need to get along with each other. And that some people cannot handle intensity. But it's still a bit of a challenge for me. But I can still say this. A lot of people nowadays, they just cannot handle someone like me. I am not for everyone. I remember one of the things that my dad said to me when I started working for him at his BMW auto mechanic shop. And I saw how crazy and intense he can be to work for. He even told me this when I started working for him. When we went out to lunch one time, I was really stressed and nervous from being around him. And he said this to me, quote unquote, "I'm an intense motherfucker." And I pick up a lot of intensity from him. And it's worked out to my benefit in certain situations. But I cannot go ahead and allow that to take over my life. Because if it does, I'll end up doing something that's bad. I can hurt someone. I can really just put off a lot of people in life. So I have to go ahead and find a way to mellow out and have more balance in my personality. There are guys that I've hung around and talked to that have that side of me. And we're cool together, but then they have gone to prison, they've gone to jail, they were part of the streets and the gangs and all the other stuff. And being in that lifestyle holds you back in the long run. It hurts you. I mean, when I was at this homeless shelter 3 years ago for 8 months, I hung around guys who were former drug dealers, gangsters, guys that got out of prison, all that stuff. We would play cards together, we would play dominoes, we would work out together. I hear all these stories about what they've done and what they've been through. You pick up on certain things, and then you say, you know what, that's not how I want to live. I cannot allow my emotions and my intensity and my anger to take control. There's even this one guy who I'm starting to become friends with at the gym. I'm not going to say his name is, but he's a black dude from New Orleans. And he goes hard at the gym. Big, buff, mean-looking dude. I just went up to him one day and said, "Hey, man, how do you go and do your shoulders? How do you do this and that?" "Oh, man, I just do it like this, I just go in hard until it starts to burn." And I got to hear his story. He's been to jail, he's been to prison. I mean, he's been around seeing things. But he's changed himself, and he's works in construction. And when he was in prison, he expanded his mind by understanding different philosophies and religions and ways of thinking. And it's helped him out. But he still has that intense side to him, just like me. And he feels as though people judge him or out to get him or to hurt him. And it can be hard for him to hold back. I mean, there's certain people in this world that are like lions, like tigers, like jaguars, like leopards, like cheetahs, just predators by nature. And I consider myself to be a predator by nature, but I'm a predator with a conscience, with a heart. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to go ahead and cause disruption to other people in their lives. I just let people do their own thing and live their own life, just as I want to live my own life. But at the same time, I just don't function with most people. The world is like a jungle. We're all animals doing what we can in order to get by and survive. But I will have to say the most predominant animal species I think most people are is like sheep. A lot of people are just like sheep. They're followers. They're not capable of leading their own path and living their own lives and doing their own thing like me. They follow what everyone else is doing because this is what everyone else is doing. I want to be like everyone else. Well, I don't resonate with people like that. I get bored with people like that. I get frustrated with people who are like that. Now, it's very hard to find, as I said, a lone apex predator or the Sigma male, a lone wolf or a tiger or jaguar or whatever. Even though those certain animals butt heads, I think we might, given that there's so few people like that in this world, once we find each other, we have a respect for each other. But I feel as though every day when I walk outside my door, when I go into the real world, I'm like a lone wolf that's walking amongst flocks of sheep. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just the world we live in. People choose to follow all the bullshit everyone else is doing in order to be like everybody else. Whereas for people like me, we choose to see through all the bullshit and not get caught up in it. We don't want to follow everyone else's path. We want to create our own path in life. And I think that in order for you to create your own path, you have to be like a lone wolf. You have to be strong enough to think for yourself and to believe in yourself on the inside, to not get caught up in all the bullshit. And just keep on living and doing what you want to do whenever you want to do it. You're going to find yourself being alone, but I would rather be a lone wolf with his own mind and his own way of thinking, his own way of living, and choosing to be true to themselves, than follow a flock of sheep who don't know who they are and have no idea why they do what they do and are on a path to nowhere. But still, that's just the world we live in. So understand this, if you consider yourself to be like a lone wolf or a tiger or a jaguar or whatever, understand that you are special. You are someone that stands out compared to everyone else, but just understand that you still have to get along with people. And have respect for those who you may not necessarily, well, let me put it this way, you have to get along with everyone even though you don't respect them. Just pass them on through and keep living your own life. And once you come across those lone wolves or tigers or jaguars, then those are people worth opening your world to. Until then, just keep doing your own thing and living your own life. But learn to embrace your inner animal, but learn how to adjust, be around certain people who are not like you. I mean, you cannot deny that you have to be around people that you don't get along with every day. Whether it's at work, where you go shopping for groceries, whether you walk outside your door and go for a walk. It is what it is. But you don't have to get caught up with other people and how they live their lives. Just choose to do your own thing and live your own life. Embrace your true self. But just understand that may not resonate with most people and you have to adjust. Alright. Just thought I might discuss that for tonight. I'm still going to see about going ahead and getting a webcam for my computer. The one I had before was splashed with water by accident, and they weren't able to go ahead and fix it at the computer shop. So I'm using one of my uncle's old MacBook Pros, and I may have to see about going ahead and getting a webcam for it because I think the camera, the built-in camera itself isn't working very well. So I just thought I might upload on my phone right here. Anyways, guys, embrace your true animal, but learn to tame it when necessary. Peace. Have a good night.